deaths, or 1 in 726. All accidents in the U.S. in 2007, 119,000, or 1 in 2,500. So all accidents is a 1 in 2,500 chance from 310 million people. Terrorism, 1 in 3.5 million. But again, I'm not patriotic if I don't literally urinate my pants right now and just shake and say, Ron Paul's a kook. He doesn't want foreign banks that own military contractors bankrupting the country to launch wars worldwide to take over countries' resources that we don't even get any of. Let's go back to alcohol. 110,640 annual deaths, or 1 in 2,827. Adverse reactions to prescription drugs, 32,000 annual deaths, and that is a government number. The numbers we've got, it's 300,000. But let's just go with 32,000. Much better chance than terrorist. Suicide, 30,575 annual deaths, most of them troops. That's the highest number now of the group, versus 3,292 deaths over 30 years. 37 years, excuse me. Continuing. Homicide, 18,272 annual deaths. All licit and illicit drug-induced deaths, 16,926 annual deaths. Not one death from marijuana, I should add. Non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, 7,600 annual deaths. I know of several parents whose children died from bad interactions from over-the-counter drugs. Do they have people there sticking their hands down your pants at Walgreens to keep you safe? No, they don't. That's about prisoner training. Now, let's look at some terrorism numbers. In Iraq, a hotbed of sectarian violence that they call terrorism, from 03 to 08, 113,616, or 1 in 1,150. Terrorism in Northern Ireland, from 1970 to 2007, Scientific American, 1,758, or 1 in 43,000. Terrorism in the United Kingdom, from 70 to 07, 2,196, or 1 in 1,100,000. Terrorism in the United States, already mentioned this, from 1970 to 07, 3,292, 1 in 3.5 million. Terrorism in Canada kills 1 in 3.8 million. Terrorism Great Britain, 1 in 5.2 million. Now let's look at some of the animal numbers here. Animals. Shark killed 1 person. We got to have TSA out there on little rafts keeping everybody safe and sticking their hands down the bathing beauty's pants. Hippo in Africa killed 100 to 150 annual deaths. Well, got to ban those. Got to have guys in blue uniforms out there keeping you safe. Elephants, 300 annual casualties. Tiger and lion, 800 annual casualties. They're going to ban tigers in India. Unnatural deaths. Coconut allergy, or coconuts falling and hitting you in the head. Combined number, 150 per year on average. Cut all coconut trees down, have men in blue uniforms, sticking hands down pants. That'll keep you safe. Champagne cork, 24 annual deaths on average in the U.S. Vending machines, we've got a graphic of that. They have bait and tackle vending machines. I don't think they've killed anybody, but vending machines, 2 annual deaths. Got to ban all vending machines then. Fireworks kill 11 annually, or 1 in 340,733. Sources, scientificamerican.com, cancer.org, Florida Museum of Natural History, about.com, and a bunch of others. Centers for Disease Control. Yeah, there's the deadly shark. I mean, hell, if sharks kill about 6 people worldwide every year, ban swimming. In large swaths of Florida now, they ban swimming for months because a shark might bite your foot. I mean, this nanny state excuse that they've got to take over your life and take all your liberties and take all your freedoms to keep you safe, it is a crock of unmitigated bull. Now listen, the truth isn't pretty, it's ugly. And I'm in here teleprompter free. I told the guys, I said, listen, it's first of the year here, second day of the new year. Let's just do a 30-minute show. We got another interview coming up with Catherine Austin Fitts after the break. I'm totally exhausted, but I've just done basically an hour here tonight to break down the facts. I hope you'll appreciate this information and get it out to everybody you know, because the truth will set us free. The people perish for lack of knowledge. I've only covered the top 1 or 2% of the news we had today. It's that big. Reality is that huge. Don't believe everything I say, but research what I say and find out it's far worse than I could even relay to you. Reality is so much more complex than what is regurgitated on the big four networks every night with the same news story in the same order with the same sponsors. That simplistic centralization is there to sell you tyranny and slavery. And that entire establishment media system is bombarding and attacking Ron Paul because he is only one manifestation or one focal point of this global awakening that's taking place. Here's the new campaign ad. We've got it at INFOWARS.com if you want to get it out to folks. Believe. Ron Paul releases closing argument ad. Watch Paul's final message before voting begins. All right, here's the Ron Paul ad. We'll be right back with Catherine Austin Fitts.
America is in trouble.
Washington is a disgrace.
Government has become too big. It's overtaxing, overspending.
We need to change direction.
We really need change.
We can't afford to make the same mistakes we've made in the past.
Mitt Romney's reputation as a flip-flopper.
He went the other way when he got paid to go the other way.
There is need for economic stimulus.
It's about serial hypocrisy.
This election is about trust.
There's been one true, consistent candidate, and that's Dr. Ron Paul.
Ron Paul has been so consistent from the very beginning.
He seems like a more honest candidate.
He tells the truth about what he believes, whether you like it or not.
He's never once voted for a tax increase, never once voted for an unbalanced budget.
Ron Paul's plan is bold, cuts 5 departments. It's what we need.
When he says he's going to cut $1 trillion in the first year, I believe it.
If you don't like how things are going and you're tired of politicians, he's something different.
Ron Paul.
Ron Paul.
Ron Paul.
Ron Paul
is the one we've been looking for.
I'm Ron Paul, and I approve this message.
If you believe in this information and want to support its viral spread, go to the InfoWars store at InfoWars.com. We've got the new G.I. Joe InfoWars t-shirts. We've got the incredible Pro Pure gravity-fed filters available at InfoWars.com in the store. We've got a new DVD, Scientists Under Attack, the Don't Tread on Me flag. We've got all sorts of different bumper stickers to help spread the rebellion virally. It's all there, wristbands, citizen rule books in every order. Order online at InfoWars.com today. The water filters, the canteens, it's all there, InfoWars.com.
It was between 1972 and 73, but it was still a lot of prejudice around this area. My wife was sick and I was trying to get some attention for her. Nobody came to check. They just left her there. Well, I believe I was left there because of the difference, me being black and her being white. And every time I would say something to the head nurse, she would get pretty upset. And then she finally called the Freeport Police Department, said I was harassing her. And I mean, I didn't know anything to do. Well, then Ron Paul come to my rescue. He just stepped in and went to work with my wife. And after he seen her, I'd say no more than 10 minutes later, she had a stillborn boy child. And he said as far as the bill, he would take care of everything, which he did. I never got a bill from the hospital or anything. And he was a doctor of medicine, and that's what he was doing, was practicing medicine, and it didn't matter who and what and why. He was doing it because he think of one human being just as much as another one. He's just an honest man, and that's something we need now in this day and time. It's a lot of politics and no honesty. When you have honesty, well, people will try to do anything to blot you out. And that's what they will try to do to him, is blot him out, because he will be honest. And they need more like him.
Click here to donate to help get James' story broadcast on television.
Welcome back. It's the first show of the new year here on January 2nd, 2012. I'm your host, Alex Jones. We are now joined by just an amazing analyst, Catherine Austin Fitch. She's a very successful investment advisor, managing member of Solari Investment Advisory Services and C-Lane Advisory LLC. She's a successful entrepreneur, president of Hamilton Securities Group, investment bank and finance software developer. That's at the top of the game. And former government official, assistant secretary of housing, federal housing commissioner, Bush 1, investment banker, managing director, and member of the board of Wall Street firm Dillon, Reed & Co. I'm going to stop right there, but she definitely is the creme de la creme, and just an amazing person to be able to have on to break down what's currently happening. But if you go back to interviews she did on radio 10 years ago, interviews she's done with us the last 5 or 6, it is incredible that everything she warned about broke as mainstream news in the following years after it. It has all basically broken loose. It's all basically happened. And so I wanted to recap what this New World Order is, who's behind it briefly, and then give us her view into the future of what she thinks is going to unfold. And we'll talk to her about the NDAA, the situation with Iran, and so much more. And of course, her website will be up on screen at solari.com, SOLARI.com. Catherine, wonderful to have you with us.
Alex, Happy New Year. It's great to be back.
We're in the crazy 2012. I mean, off the top of your head, what do you think of 2012? What do you think is coming up this year?
Actually, I'm kind of an optimist for 2012. It's in one sense we have things getting crazier and weirder because the beast is coming out of the closet. But the good news is the beast is coming out of the closet and people can start to see it and take action. So for me, I feel very good about 2012 because we're going to start to deal with the problems that we have been, keeping under the ground for a very long time.
Define that beast, because there's a lot of new viewers, and then let's get into what you see that beast doing in the future.
Well, we've had a group of people centralizing the economy, and they've been able to stay a little bit hidden because we bubbled the economy. And now that the bubble is over and we're kind of in the debt trap, things have to be faced. So, in fact, for the last 500 years, we've been in an economic model, which I call the central banking warfare model. It was coined by James Turk. And the central banks print money, and then the military makes sure everybody takes the money and uses the money, while they access cheap natural resources. And so that model can't continue. It has to change. And you have a small group of people centralizing the economy who have a plan for how it's going to change. We're starting to see the outlines of that plan. Most of us don't like that plan. We believe in freedom for the individual and the protection of individual and property rights. And so, appalled as we are, we're now starting to act to make that change. And I think what I'm seeing all over the world, and I know you are because you're really at the hub, is a much greater consciousness of people saying, wait a minute, we don't like this. What's the plan? What's our plan? So I think there needs to be a global conversation about what's going on. And from that will emerge ideas of something that is both decentralizing and wealth producing. So, and we're just in the middle of that birth, or we're just at the beginning of that birth. And I, for one, welcome the conversation.
Well, Catherine, you brought up both of the first questions I was basically going to ask you. and that is, I am seeing the awakening that was already turbocharged exploding. And with the signing of the National Defense Authorization Act, people are really